If not us, who? And if not now, when?
The following is an EHC media production.
What's going on, RWT family and Smart Mark Radio listeners? This is your boy, Moses Marquez.
And I'm your boy, Amir Blackberry Costello.
And we are here to remind you guys to catch us each and every week on the Gorilla Position.
Yeah, man, it's our little show we got going on where we talk about all things wrestling. And Moses Marquez, what's your favorite thing to talk about?
My favorite thing to talk about is all the bullshit going on in the WWE, but then I like to sugar on a little bit of the awesomeness of the New Japan Pro Wrestling. What about yourself?
Yeah, man, I like talking about those things too. Not to mention AEW is coming out. Ring of Honor is awesome. And I don't know if anybody likes Impact, but fucking if they're making news, we're talking about them too.
We're talking about all this and more, guys. So again, catch us each and every week on soundcloud.com/smartmarkradio, and of course on the RWT YouTube page. Every week, a new episode of the Gorilla Position will be up. So we'll catch you around the bend, boys and girls. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you soon.
April 6th, we present Promo Mania 4. Promo Championship will be on the line in an epic rematch as the Blackbane battles the Butcher.
I would hope that we can keep this professional, as I am always. You know, David Gillum, will be professional.
Promo Mania and Mia Blackbane Costello. It's official, bro. You, me. Round 2. Promo Championship.
Promo Mania 4. Dave Gillum versus Amir Costello. The Butcher versus Blackbane.
Next up, you got me.
Mask versus Mask.
People will know that the champ, he's here.
You know, Dave, you are your favorite football team. You are the New England Patriots. You're in the championship fight. You're exactly where you're supposed to be.
Freight train going straight through you.
I'm the guy that 2 years ago nobody knew. I'm the guy that wasn't supposed to beat anybody. And I'm the last person anybody suspected to be here in this championship fight. I know who you are. I know what you bring to the table.
Bring your A game. Bring your A game. You asked for it. Now you're gonna get it.
But considering that you are the best heel in the business, the operative word there is business. Ain't none of it personal, brother.
EWA.
Do you play WWE 2K18 on the PS4? Would you like to play against other like-minded players in a very unique online league that's unique because we are more committed to storylines than just a straight-up competitive league. The league is still very competitive, but we also try to run things like a bit of a TV show. Check out the YouTube channel and the Facebook page in the description below if you're interested.
This is how we're doing it. This is how we're doing it. The gang's all here. RWT, Kingpin, Emir Black Bay Costello, the resident
I'm
dead
here.
man, Paul
That black guy's
Morales.
here.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
Black Bane. Woo!
I'm here.
It's a
Woohoo!
fucking.
RWT Kingpin. Woohoo!
It is a Sunday
Whatever
night
his
after
name
a
is.
terrible WWE pay-per-view, but we saw a great show through the weekend. And apparently these guys have more energy than I do. That's for fucking sake. God damn.
You know what? I'm half asleep, so you know what? You're actually lucky that I actually have this energy, and I'm gonna carry it through as long as I can.
You know, the funny thing is you're half asleep, and normally I do this
Then you
show
know I'm asleep.
stoned, and I'm stoned, but I'm not tired.
I got up. First of all, I went to sleep last night, like I told you guys I was going to, and then like about an hour and a half after I went to sleep, my son woke up throwing up with 102 fever. So that I ended up staying awake later after that. And then when I finally went back to sleep, I woke up at 4, but I forgot because of the stupid time change. I was really waking up at 3. But I got up and still took my fat ass to the gym. And so, yeah. Same thing tomorrow.
I was a little curious while you were like posting shit, and I was like, "And this fucker's supposed to be asleep."
Yeah, man, my son
posted
woke
2
up.
minutes ago. You sack of shit.
Yeah, he was throwing up and stuff. I was like, God dang it. And I saw you liking the stuff I was posting, and I was like, Moses is going to think I fucking lied.
No,
I was already thinking you were lying. I was like, this motherfucker is actually awake.
I legit thought the same thing. I was like, it's a kid thing. I swear to God, it's got to be a kid thing. And sure enough, I was right. I was like, there's no other reason.
I was asleep, brother. I was enjoying it, and I woke up, and my son was throwing up everywhere. I was like, oh, my goodness.
That's all bad. Well, I hope he's feeling better. While you were cleaning up vomit, I was watching this show, or at least finishing it. I tried to finish the main event, the Nakamura versus Tanahashi match, while watching Fastlane. It did not work out in my favor. By the way, Fastlane was trash, and then it ended well, but it's still trash.
I did not watch Fastlane.
You liked it?
As much as I was giving it shit, I actually liked it. I know it took me a little while to figure out where it was going. As far as everything with Kofi Kingston, I know where it's going to go.
But it just looks so bad.
I know. It looks really, really bad, though.
It does look bad. Okay, well, that'll have to save for another day. Let's just jump right into this show. Wrestle Kingdom 2, Tokyo Dome. TNA Invasion, I guess. All in all, this show was better than No, that's not true. It was just under my expectations. Not gonna lie, it was just under my expectations. A couple of matches though did blow my expectations. That's for sure. And one of them that did was this opener. I guess the TNA team versus the New Japan team. Christian Cage, AJ Styles, and Petey Williams, the Canadian Destroyer, taking on Milano Collection AT, Minoru, not to be mistaken with Minoru Suzuki, and a guy most of us know as Finn Balor, but he looked like a freaking extra white, cracked out dude with super dark black hair, Prince Devitt. And as he was not the same Devitt that we know now. His moveset was different, but yet similar in a way. And he was all over the place. He was not the body he is now. That's also for sure.
Let's wait. Hang on. I want to say this to all the ladies.
Uh-oh.
All the ladies listening, listen up, bitches. If you can't handle him at Prince Devitt, then you don't deserve him at his Finn Balorist.
At his Finn Balorist. Oh my goodness gracious.
Dude, did I just hear that right?
Yeah. Write it down. Put it on a fucking shirt.
Oh yeah, put it on a t-shirt. You don't deserve me at my Finn Balorist.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Let me see.
Can I say something?
You,
Can I say
you
something?
don't
Of course you can.
appreciate it. Hold on, I'm typing this out right now.
He's like making the
Don't
shirt
appreciate
tomorrow.
David is worse. No appreciate Finn Balor's. Okay, I got it.
Okay.
Oh my god.
As a three-man team, this is just a quick notation, and we can move on immediately. As a three-man team, Moses Marquez, Paul Morales, and Emir Costello, we are so much better than Dazzy Leah, Mike Larkin, and Dave Gillum.
Oh, hands
We are
down.
so much better than Max Podcast. Like, why? when guys like us exist, why do they even bother to show up for their show?
Right?
They just got to put the effort out there. That's the problem. They think Max Wrestling is on another level when the fact is we are on another level because we're all a bunch of smart marks. I don't care that I'm a
Woo-hoo!
mark. Get over it. We're all marks. Real marks actually tell people that they're a mark. And when you
That's
hide
what
it,
it is.
you're just a mark in the closet. See,
Exactly.
that person is in the closet, right in the background. So, I got to get right into this match. Um, it was good. Petey Williams is awesome. He shows off his athleticism. AJ Styles is AJ Styles again, different move set, but same AJ Styles, bringing the heat every time he jumps in the ring. He has a good match with just about anybody, and then surprisingly, Christian Cage, pretty dang good in this match. He was definitely the ultimate heel for sure. Um, I mean, I liked it. Prince Devitt worked he worked against everybody and he worked well. Milano At was good. I mean, I haven't heard much about him. Apparently, he has a long legacy way before we started watching New Japan. So, I mean, I like it, but this was an interesting match. You know what I mean? AJ Styles ends up picking the win, hitting the Styles Clash on Milano At, and it was a solid opener. It was good. Wasn't excellent. Wasn't great. I wasn't. My socks weren't blown off. I wasn't researching Milano At, but I assure you, I was researching AJ Styles and Prince Devitt after that. Even though I didn't know who both of these guys are.
Yeah, man. I was just gonna say, Moses Marquez said that his socks weren't blown off, and you know what? I agree with that statement. So I'm just gonna let you guys know up front. I am judging this whole pay per view more harshly because, to me, New Japan is the best, bar none. Nobody even comes close. And I will say, after watching this whole pay per view, I feel like it was always great. It was always great. But
I can agree with that.
this match was decent. But was it good for New Japan? Was it a great opening match for what New Japan could do? Not as far as I'm concerned. I was a little bit let down. Now the finish was great, but like the beginning was really kind of like lagging for me, and
Yeah.
it took a while for them to kind of get in the groove. But okay, this is what I'm doing. This is the math I'm doing. I understand. It's like Christian Cage and Prince Devitt and it's AJ Styles. And this is my mistake, but I'm gonna keep it real. I'm looking at them and going, oh shit, I know who all these guys became. So I'm thinking of that version of them, but instead I'm getting who they were at that time, and it's kind of disappointing. It's disappointing, like the way that you. I don't know. Just like I don't want to watch a young AJ Styles and a young Prince Devitt because they're so much better today than they were back then, and the match wasn't as good as I wanted it to be, even though it was a decent match.
No, I can agree with that. I mean, like looking at him now compared to then, yeah, you're gonna get a totally different match. Um, I will agree with you. This was not like this was a New Japan match for sure. This was on par as a New Japan match. This was not a Wrestle Kingdom Tokyo Dome match, though. This was more of like a um, Cork and Hall, semi-main event, in the middle match. It's good enough to be on TV. It's definitely not good enough to be in the Tokyo Dome. But you had to get three up and comers against three up and comers. So, and then Christian Cage, already established name due to his WWE run. Paul, give me something. Tell me what you thought about this opener.
Yeah, I can hear you.
And of course, this is the issues that we have. Live radio can't get nobody nowhere. Stand by as we fix audio issues. Okay, audio issues aside, Paul's back. We can all hear him now. Paul, what do you think of the opener?
Actually, I thought it was pretty good. It wasn't like over the top, like impressive, but I thought it was pretty good. Um, the fact that AJ Styles, you see how he is now, and I'm gonna go back. This was 11 years ago. Okay, so he was at the top of his game in TNA. I mean, he had some classic matches with Samoa Joe and
Kurt Angle.
Whoa,
and
what?
Kurt Angle at the time. So, in my eyes, is like he's still. I mean, he's at an elite level now. I just think he was at an elite level then. So, as to how Amir compares him to then and now, I think he's still the same. I mean, granted, he was a little bit more of a high flyer then, than what he is now.
I can
But
agree with that. He's a lot more polished nowadays than he was back earlier then. But no, he did have a. That's what I meant by like a different moveset. He was more risk taking, more high flying, more about getting out the cool looking moves, more than being and that's not necessarily effective, but I guess more dominant in a way.
yeah, but that's not how Prince David is now. That's not how Finn Balor is now. You know how you see him here in this show. It's like night and day. You know,
Oh, that's for
I
sure.
mean, he still had a few moves, but nothing like he has now. I mean, and he's probably about a good 25, maybe 30 pounds lighter than he is here.
Oh no, I would go as low as saying 40. He is a lot smaller. Um, not as I guess not as high flying. A little more on the technical side. He's just kind of just getting his feet wet. This is prior to his Bullet Club run, where he really started to catch his momentum and his speed. We'll actually catch him in the peak of his Bullet Club run when we review Wrestle Kingdom 8. So
He still hit that front flip.
oh, he did hit that
running
front. Oh yeah, that thing
out
was
of the ring,
awesome.
right?
Oh yes, sir.
Yeah, he hit that.
That's like his bread and butter. So
I want some bread and butter.
I want some. Oh lordy. Okay.
Peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
These
Peanut
guys
butter
with the
jelly
food. It
time.
is 9:30, and these guys are food. And you're calling me the stoner. Anyway, 3 stars. 3-star match. I enjoyed it. It was not boring. It did just like kind of have like a lackluster feel. I expected a little more considering all the Wrestle Kingdoms I've seen and like how crazy they all start off. So not as hot as I'd like, but I'm not disappointed. So 3 for me.
I'm
I
gonna
also
go with a 2.5. And the thing is that to me it was an okay match. It was a pretty good match. So to me, being pretty good, I mean, you hear the names, you think, you hear AJ Styles, you hear Christian Cage. I mean, well, it's just Christian that we know him, but and I know Petey Williams is a really good wrestler, very technically sound. So I guess in this match, I guess I wanted more. I didn't get more, but what I got was at least to me was a pretty good match. So I gave it a 2.5.
I thought, as I stated earlier, that it was a decent match, but it was not on par with New Japan level wrestling to me, and especially, I look for an opening match to be the thing that gets you excited about the rest of the pay-per-view, and I've not. This is the first time I've seen a New Japan card where I felt like a match fell short of my expectations. But I'll tell you what, there is a match on this card that was even worse than this one. This was good. There's a match that was complete shit on this card, but this match I gave 3 stars.
Exactly. It's not horrible. It gets worse as we get further down the card, but it doesn't get worse through the next match. As a matter of fact, it actually gets better. We have the Fallen Angel, Christopher Daniels, challenging the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion, Wataru. I'm not sure if I'm saying his name right. I apologize if I'm butchering it, but from what I'm reading,
Wataru Inui.
there you go. It doesn't matter if I butcher it. You only defended the belt once, and then you lost it. You're a 0 in my defense. But that's just me. It's all good though. But he was not a 0 during this match. This match was really, really good. I enjoyed it. I don't know if I'm just into Christopher Daniels more now that he's older and I've seen a lot more of his work. But I mean, he was great back then. Emir had pointed out one time he had caught me watching some old TNA, mainly thanks to free television. But even back
Well,
in
at
his
least he didn't catch you watching porn.
that was a different time for a different story. But he did look really good in his earlier TNA days, just going as Daniels and all that. But he's just been good for like ever, and he gets a shot at the IWGP Junior title. Now, granted, not under contract with the company. They were super strict back then about who held belts. I
Yeah.
mean, look at the way they treated Kurt Angle in his IWGP Championship reign. They treated it like it was nothing. I have the reason for that. I'll wait till we get there, though. But this match was pretty good. Christopher Daniels, like I said, excellent champion, excellent. I liked it. I don't know. I felt like it was a little short, but that's just me. Did anybody else feel like this match went a little short?
I felt like okay. So the last match was kind of a weird match, had a great finish. This match, I felt the opposite. I felt that it was a really good match, but the finish wasn't that good. So the last match had a great finish, but this match, the finish was so like sudden to me. I was like, what the heck? I really liked the build. I watched like the vignettes and stuff, and how they were like really pumping up the fallen angel and telling the backstory and stuff like that. I thought that was
He had a
pretty
lot of
good.
momentum going into this.
Yeah, man. I just didn't understand the sudden end to the match. I thought that was a bit lackluster because it was really going pretty good, and that really affected the way I graded it.
Yeah. What about you, Paul? What do you got for me?
Well, to me, Christopher Daniels is always one of those. Is always kind of like up there with um, many of the classic TNA wrestlers that I know of. I mean, he's always been back to the whole. He's he's very much charismatic. He's very unique in the ring. I mean, he takes his time. He does what he does, and to me, it just seemed like this match was a little bit slow paced, which is perfectly fine by me. But there had their up tempo moments. Um, I guess to me it fell short, but I wanted more. It's like I felt like it could have went a little bit further,
Yeah.
but um, I was happy with the way it was. I'm the way the outcome came about. Yeah, it was kind of like, all right.
Yeah.
But I actually gave this one actually a 3. Thought it was a little bit better than the last match.
I like the way you think. I gave it a 3 myself. You know, Daniels playing the heel, using the ropes for leverage during the abdominal stretches. He was getting chops in. He got a poke in the eye. Um, like I said, I wanted to really like it. I felt like it was just an abrupt ending, and that's why I agree with you. I will give it a 3. It was looking at being a 4 for like the first 4 minutes of this match. I was like, oh, this thing's gonna be a 4. This thing's gonna be awesome, and then it just kind of, you know, crapped out on me,
Yeah.
sparklered out, whatever you want to say. So yeah, I'll go with a 3. Amir.
I also went with a 3, and again, the reason being is that the first match was a weird match, but it had a great finish, and I gave that a 3. So when this one was a good match, but it had a bad finish, I was like, well, then that's the same thing but opposite. So I went, good enough for a 3. And I mean, because I was so wrong by the finish, I couldn't give it a 4 or anything higher than that. So yeah, I went with 3.
Christopher Daniels doing great things now. Like, God, the guy's been in the wrestling business forever. He's like the head of something for AEW, and I know he's still wrestling, and just good for Christopher Daniels. Glad to see that he's still around. This next match, though, it looked great on paper, and that's about all I can say for it. Nakanishi versus Abyss, and like I said, it looked great on paper. Nakanishi was always like the bigger monster type in New Japan. He had a great rivalry with Yuji Nagata, and I thought him and Abyss would do well, but then I remembered Abyss is just god awful, And boy, was I right. It was just a hoss match. They're just out there just beating each other, body slamming each other, thumbtacks on the entrance ramp, thumbtacks in the hand. It was just I don't even know.
Yeah, that I found pretty interesting. How he was coming back up the aisle and he was pulling them out of his hands.
Yeah,
And
that
I
was a
was
bit
like,
weird.
wow. I mean, you saw his hand, and I mean, I was just thinking, I'm like, ow, I can understand how the hell. I mean, you look at his hand, and I was like, dude, it's like his hand is like all silver.
Yeah, but
Yeah, it
the
was a
thing
trip.
was they were just going through the motions though. It's weird. Like he didn't even really sell it. It's like he first of all he pulled out the tax and like it was like 3 minutes into the match. It's like here we go with tax, and then
Well, I knew that was
he
going to happen as an Abyss match. What else? I mean, like, what else can Abyss do?
see
Yeah.
this is what I wrote in my notes about this match. Abyss is like if Kane and Mankind had a love child.
What? Yeah. Okay, you're right.
He said,
That's
he
that's
said,
accurate.
oh wait, yeah, that's right.
Because
It's
I'm like
like
thinking about it. I'm like, oh yeah, you're probably right.
Mankind with the thumbtacks and the mask, but he has Kane's height and Kane's weird hair and some of Kane's move. It just, but surprise, surprise, putting Mankind and Kane together doesn't make for a great wrestler. And
Shocker.
this was the first Abyss match I've ever seen in my life, the very first one. And the whole time, all I thought to myself was, WWE just signed this guy for a fucking backstage role? What the fuck?
No. The thing that makes it funny for me is the fact that WWE almost signed him to end the Undertaker streak. That was
Yeah, and
another one of
he
those
wouldn't do
odd
it. He
possibilities.
chose to be loyal to TNA.
That's fine. I'm so glad he decided to go to TNA. I mean, truth be told, to get off topic here, um, who else but Brock? You know what I mean? Now that it's been numerous years afterwards, you can't envision anybody else defeating that streak other than Brock. Maybe Sting, but they buried the crap out of him when he finally showed up and wrestled against Trips. But I mean, he was also in no condition, and that's enough of my rant there. Abyss is terrible. This is the second match. The second match I've seen of him, and the first match was only good because guess what? He was using gimmicks. He is just, I don't know what. So I agree with you on the statement of he got hired for creative? Question mark. I mean, it's bad enough we got Jeff Jarrett. He's just gonna have guys throwing tortillas when they go to Mexico. You know, cheap little
That was
plug
a
there
good one.
for
That was a good one.
our AAA show, which I still want to watch some more AAA ever since that show. It's just the craziness of Lucha Libre just has gained my attention. But the craziness of this match lost my attention. I give it a 1.5, only because of gimmicks. That's it.
I gave it a 2.
Just a 2. Uh-oh.
Just a 2?
Technical
Oh,
difficulties.
we lost him. Here, look, I'll go.
There we go. It's going to be a
Look.
night filled with technical difficulties.
Look, man. Look, in all reality, I gave it a 0, and it had nothing. It had nothing to do with what was going on in the match. It's just that it was dull.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, like you said, he brought out the tax almost in an instant, and then boom.
Because they're like, how are we going to get this match over? This is how. And that's that. They had
Yeah.
nothing else to go with.
Tax came, and then
It was like
tax,
he's
right back up in the ring.
I
He
mean,
didn't
literally, not even a minute and a half. I mean, literally, he already went under the ropes, pulled out the bag, threw the guy. He had already walked the guy up the ramp, beat him up, body slammed him, walked back to the ring, grabbed the bag, threw him out, and he got slammed into them.
Yep.
And then it was like nothing else.
Yeah, it was.
It was pretty horrible. I mean, and there was nothing in the match aside from them beating the hell out of each other, and even that wasn't even exciting. Dude, I got up to go to the bathroom. I came back and the match was over, and I was like, "Good."
He gave it a 0. Just a full. This is I would never think if any show we ever review, let alone a New Japan show, would get a fucking 0.
That's I couldn't give it a 0 because I have so much respect for New Japan. You disrespectful fuck. That
Look, you could call me a disrespectful fuck all you want. It had nothing to do with New Japan. This all had to do with how fucking boring this match was.
This is TNA's fault. Fuck TNA.
There we go. I'm
Look,
down
you
with
can
that
blame
one.
TNA
Blame
all you
TNA.
want, and I will agree with you that it was TNA's fault for fucking putting Abyss in this damn match.
They didn't have any other monster they can throw in there? Fuck.
Yeah, they could have fucking threw Samoa Joe in there, and I would have been fucking happy.
You know
Karen
what?
Jarrett.
I would not have
She's a
mind
monster.
seeing Nakanishi versus Samoa Joe. I think that would
No,
be killer.
if you look at their roster, at this time, I would have put him against Samoa Joe more than I would have put him against Abyss, because at least that would have been a hell of a fucking match.
I can dig that. Anyway, Emir, did we
Hashtag
get a
fuck
rating?
Amir.
Did we get a rating from you?
Well, I was trying to give a rating, and then my phone cut off, and I had to jump back into the conversation. But ultimately, I gave this match a 2 because Paul's right. This match was trash.
It's just
Abyss is trash. I don't know, man. I hated this match, but I gave it a 2 because I was like, maybe this is New Japan. This can't be happening. But no, I never want to see Abyss wrestle again.
yeah, never. Thank you, please.
Oh,
Have a good
man.
day.
Well, that means I'm going to have to change my show then.
Oh yeah, that's right. Our next show is a TNA show.
Yeah.
Fuck, we're so fucked. Oh well.
Sorry.
Wait, hey Paul, let me tell you something. I'd much rather see another shark cage before I see fucking Abyss wrestle.
You know what? It's TNA. We just might.
Well, here, I'll give you this one. The match that he's in is him against Sabu.
Oh shit, the
Okay.
suicidal, genocidal piece of shit. I don't fucking Sabu. I like it. Sabu is an asshole, right?
Yeah,
time.
he's an asshole. Okay, so anyways, go ahead, keep going.
Okay, so I just gotta ask.
What did you give it?
I gave it a 1.5, and that's strictly on the gimmicks alone. Gimmicks alone.
Oh,
This
on
match went
Amir's,
6
on Amir's,
minutes.
the mix between Kane and Mankind, baby.
That was hilarious too. That deserves a 1.5 just for itself. This match went a whopping
Okay.
6 minutes. Now,
And that
Emir,
was
with
5
this-
minutes too long.
that you're telling me. With that being said, would you rather watch these two matches, or this match and whatever match Abyss is in on the TNA show, back to back for an hour long, or watch the whole Fastlane pay-per-view again?
It all depends on who the hell he's wrestling in TNA.
That's true. I could dig that.
Because if I had my picks, I would pick 3 matches that he was in that I actually did enjoy. And yes, there are actually a few matches that I actually enjoyed of Abyss's. So there.
That's a lie.
They're probably
No,
monsters.
it actually is true.
I know some of his best matches were the Monster Ball matches, and that was about it.
He had a few of the Monster Ball matches. He had some good matches against AJ Styles actually.
Joseph Park.
And I believe AJ kind of carried him a couple of them, but
AJ carries everybody. He's Daniel
AJ
Bryan.
can carry
he's
me in a match.
Shit, he can carry
My ass
anybody.
too. Shit.
We'd look like $1 million. All right, jumping on to the next one here. Traditional 8-man tag. That's just how New Japan does it. You got to get all those fucking people out there. It's the big show of the year. Tanaka versus Takawi, Yoshi, and Takamura versus Izuka, recently retired Izuka, Kanemoto, Tiger Mask, and Taguchi. Taguchi has been doing this shit forever. He just replaced David Finlay in the New Japan Cup. He's old as hell, and he looked the same in this match. And this was like back in 2008. He looked the same. I'm like, holy crap, he has a time machine. Because that's the only
does he
way this
age?
goes. He looked the exact same age. Everybody in this show looked younger. Taguchi looked the exact same. The exact same.
What year? What year was that? That ECW show that we did?
98.
97, 97 or 98?
I want to say
Yeah.
actually Heatwave.
Okay,
Probably
here we are
97.
10. Here we are 10 years later, and Masato Tanaka still looks the same.
I barely paid attention. He kind of just blended in, to be honest with you.
With all the other Japanese guys.
I was like, I can't.
He's
That
all-
guy looks kind of
He goes,
familiar.
he goes, they're all little Japanese guys, and he goes, they all look the same. Forget it.
Well, no, because I'm like, okay, he looks kind of familiar. Okay, Yoshi looks kind of familiar, and I was like, I don't know the other two guys. And then the whole other team comes out. I was like, okay, I know him. Okay, I know everybody.
Yep.
Tiger Mask is hard not to know, but this was another. This match was just it. I don't know how to say it. It started out crazy. Things just happening all over the place. Nobody really knows what's going on. It's just fucking chaos. And then I want to say it was Kanemoto gets in, and then all of a sudden he just like starts just beating the shit out of everybody, and just like shooting on them. Like, what the fuck are you doing in my ring? And then that's it. Then the match is over, and I was like, okay.
I
Fuck with the old
enjoyed
guys. Got
this
it.
match. Let me tell you something. I enjoyed the action in this match, and my favorite part of the match was the finish. And let me tell you why. When you got a guy that size that goes up to the top rope, and he comes crashing down on his opponent, the worst thing you could do is let the guy kick out. New Japan got it right. When the big man did the splash, and then he actually got the 1, 2, 3, that made perfect sense. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it, 3.5.
Oh, wow. That is a bit excessive.
Wow.
I thought this match was a clusterfuck. I did not think it was anywhere near the amount of a clusterfuck as the Abyss match. I did enjoy like the old veterans just going out there and just beating the crap out of everybody. They're like, okay, I'm tired of playing games. We wrestle for real. And I'm like, oh shit, fucking the switch is flipped. So because of that, and it showed off the old school strong style, I'll give it a 2.5. I don't know what the fuck this 3.5 nonsense
You know
is,
what was
but
kind of
2.5.
weird? You know what was kind of weird is, I know a few of these names. Tanaka, we actually, like I mentioned, I knew Kanemoto, and
Everybody knows Tiger
like I was telling you guys before, Kanemoto was actually Tiger Mask 3, who is in the ring with Tiger Mask 4. I couldn't even pronounce his name, what his real name is, if I even tried. So I'm not going to go into that. The fact that it was like this guy here, this guy here, this guy here, this guy over here, this guy hitting this guy, that guy hitting that guy. It was like that's how fast the match went. To me, it was like, okay, I'm trying to keep up with, okay, well, this guy's hitting that guy. Who the hell was the guy that was supposed to be in the ring? Who the hell was the legal guy in the ring?
Exactly. It was like, what was the AWA all over again? Nobody knew what was going on. They were just fucking get in there and do this shit.
Don't go there. Don't go there.
Granted,
Don't
this one crazy clusterfuck of a match blew that whole fucking show out of the water, minus Kerry Von Erich. But yeah, this was something different.
Okay. So I'll give you that one. Okay, so throughout this whole thing, I gave it a 2.5 also. Because of the names, two, because I actually tried to follow as much of it as I could, and as much as I could, I actually enjoyed. It wasn't the greatest 8-man tag team match, but it was okay.
I'm surprised you could follow it. I was lost. I was so lost. But I mean,
I had to watch it after a few drinks, so don't feel too bad.
Yeah, I know. I was trying to watch that, just this match and the next one after this. Like during the pre-show, when I was freaking out thinking there was going to be a Ray versus Andrade, which I guess they're going to push that towards Mania. Thank God. Maybe do a little hair versus mask, but different story, different topic for a different time. Next match, we have Makabe and Toru Yano. Now, I'm going to stop right there. Toru Yano, nowadays, everybody knows him as the comedy guy. He does low blows. He gets the pad. He hits you. He pulls your pants down. He ties your
shoulder shrug.
All of it. He does a shoulder shrug. The whole nine. But in this, he was the serious Toriano, and they were taking
that
on
bleach
Team.
blonde hair, slick
Dude,
back. This motherfucker was not
he
playing.
he
Brother.
was not fucking around. You don't fuck with Yano with the super blonde hair. Team 3D, Bully Ray, Devon. Devon looked okay. Bully looked
Hold on, hold
gigantic.
on, hold on, hold on. Why the hell does Devon look like 5 times the size that he is now?
His arms were jacked, but he
He
still had a gut.
he
And
was
Bubba Ray
he
definitely
was
looked like a
roided
huge
out
sack
like
of shit.
nobody's business. I tell you
Dude,
what.
dude, he was fucking huge. After he left WWE, now mind you, he was a fat man, but now he's just like a fat man, just more, a little bit more swollen.
That's
When I
Devon.
was looking at him, bro, this is what I thought to myself. I saw Devon's arms and his physique, and I looked at Bubba Ray, who looked like he hadn't done anything physical in about 3 years. I finally, for the first time, I understood why Bubba Ray yells at Devon to get the tables, because he ain't gonna get his fucking ass out there and grab a table.
Fuck no. He's gonna get caught in between the fucking canvas and the bottom rope.
Hey, my favorite thing about Japan
I'm
is
sorry, it looked like Devon ate fucking Mae Young instead of fucking instead of her dying. It looked like Devon ate her. That's how big and swollen he is. It looked like he ate Ryback.
why do they try to get? They know
Ryback.
the New Japan fans are like very reserved, and like this is all they do in New Japan. The fans just go like, Kenny, like he's just like a weird, like calling a person's name with this weird. Other than that, so they try to do their they try to like do their catchphrases and thinking the crowd's gonna chant along with them, but it's
Fuck
like
no.
they don't do that in Japan. They sit down quietly and watch the match. This is not America, so it's so funny because it's this huge arena with all these thousands of people in it, and he's just yelling to himself.
Yeah, it was a bit weird. It felt like a WWE match, like in the middle of the Attitude Era, because they're grabbing gimmicks all day. They're grabbing the ladders, they're grabbing the chairs, they're grabbing the this, they're grabbing the that, and they're just doing whatever. Yano is the first to hit anybody with anything. He's using the trash can, which I actually haven't seen used almost ever in my like 6 years of watching New Japan. So that was kind of a trip. But
Hey, Bubba Ray took somebody's head with that trash can.
Jesus criminy, that guy needed to slow down.
It was whoever they came out with, wasn't it? It was
Yeah.
one of the guys that they came out with.
Yeah, they were cheating their ass off. There was like a third guy on the outside.
That sounds like 3D to me, dude. Oh no, you want to know who that third guy on the outside was? Honma.
Yes.
Are you guys aware of Honma, the guy that the bald-headed, like super built, extra tan guy?
Homer Simpson?
No, not Homer Simpson. Honma. I can't remember his first name right now, but he
Homer.
was the guy that. Oh, would you knock it off? He was the guy that took the draping DDT and broke his neck and it hurt his neck. And they weren't sure if he was going to wrestle again.
Tomoaki?
No, I don't think it's. Sure. Tomoyaka Homa?
Yeah,
I believe so.
Homa.
I'm not. Like I said, I don't know his first name, but yeah, that was
Tomoaki
him.
Homa.
That was him.
Yeah,
Smaller
and
and
the
not
other
bald.
guy is Tomohiro Ishii.
There you go, Tomohiro Ishii. Everybody knows Ishii, and if you don't, you should. But the other guy is Toge Makabe.
No, I'm just kidding.
I'm just kidding.
I'm just kidding.
But this, like I said, I felt like it was like a bad, not necessarily a bad WWF match, but they kind of went through it all. Yano, I'm expecting a comedy spot every time I turn around. Never really happens. Makabe is the same exact guy that he is now, and it was just kind of like whatever. I could not get over how big Bully Ray was. The table spot looked bad. The 3D looked okay.
Bro. When they put out that little ass table.
Oh, I laughed. I laughed so hard. I was like, dude, that little skinny thing. Nowadays, like when you see Kenny and them use it, I don't know why it makes it so different. But seeing big old Bully Ray like set that little tiny thing up, I'm like, oh, that's okay. It was just he powerbombed him right through it.
That was very awkward. It was very, very awkward.
But it's
watching them pull out these little dinky little tables, that not like the ones that we see in WWE.
All right, what about that really high angle 3D though? They got that 3D damn near up to the ceiling.
It was pretty good. It was a nice looking 3D. I'll give him that. But
I really enjoyed this match. Like honestly, I liked for the amount of time that they spent. I thought that they went through the progressions really well. I was on the edge of my seat. I didn't. I mean, Bubba Ray, he was a little bit lazy, but everybody else I think really did their thing. I liked how they implemented the weapons and the different spots, and that 3D was great. And then to see Toriano serious, I was like, ooh, this motherfucker, he is doing his thing. I really liked it, bro. So I mean, y'all could trip if you want to, but I gave this match a 4. I don't give a fuck.
okay, you remember that part when you said you were going to be more serious with your ratings? I'm calling bullshit right now because there was
Come
no way that
on,
you
this was
gave
a
this.
good match.
Okay,
Look at bro. Look at this. This was two. This
Hold
is what
on.
2 matches after the Abyss match.
okay. When you compare it to that, this is 5 stars hands down. But I'm not comparing it to that match. I'm comparing it in its whole. Um, I enjoyed it. I'm not saying at all it was bad. I felt like I was gonna give it like a 4 at first, and it didn't work out that well. But because I like nostalgia and I like Yano's seriousness, and I thought the skinny table was hilarious, I gave it a 3.5.
Okay, you're gonna hate me. I know
Sure.
you are.
He's giving it a 5 for the skinny table.
I'm giving it a 2.
I don't hate you. I don't
Come
hate
And
you
now,
for it.
now,
I see your
give me
reasoning.
a minute. I am going to go as high as a 3 because of the skinny table.
That skinny table is a legit 1.5 to 3
No,
points all day
okay,
long.
look. This was just one of those typical lazy ass 3D matches. We're used to the Dudley boys, going out there whooping somebody's ass, having some fun, throwing them through a table. Okay, that's the end of the match. This one seemed to me, it just seems a little bit drawn out. And as much as there was some action, which I'm giving it a higher rating for, that little dinky little table damn near fucking made me shit my pants because I was laughing so loud.
Wow.
My wife thought I was about ready to fucking have a cornea or fucking aneurysm burst because I was laughing so hard.
Well, I mean, it was hilarious when I seen that little tiny thing, and we're so used to the big old tables. So, like I said, it was interesting. It was interesting and a
It was a
little
three, by the
hilarious.
way. It was a three.
Nice. I like it going all the way up to 3. So far, this show's not terrible. You get rid of the Abyss match, and it's pretty all right. It actually,
Okay, but the thing is, I thought this is so funny. I thought I was grading this pay-per-view so harshly, and so far, it seems like I enjoyed it more than you guys.
I believe
All
you
right, then
did.
you enjoyed it more than we did.
Well, I'm not saying I didn't enjoy it. It's just, I'm a fair man. I give it a legit rating. I've seen my fair share of New Japan pay-per-views, and you know, I guess I have an idea built in my head of like how I feel a New Japan match should be. And some of them are up to the par, and some of them aren't. That's why like I really enjoyed the like the opener, but then like you know what I mean. Like the opener was good, but the second match, the lackluster ending, the Abyss match was utter garbage. Then you had the 8 man, which was kind of just there, and then you had the 3D match, which was it was okay, and then now this match, I only liked it because of the nostalgia. Because this is what New Japan's all about. It's all about the strong style. It's all about the goddamn names. It's all about fucking Fujinami. It's all about fucking Choshu. It's all about Chano. It's all about Jushin, Liger, Akari, Karia, Jado. I don't know who the rest of these fuckers are. This match was awesome. Seeing an old man standing in the middle of the ring beating the crap out of people. Double spike pile driver was great. Jushin Liger looks awesome. Fucking Fujinami looked as good as we saw him against Ric Flair in our WCW review.
Oh my God!
This
When I
match was
saw that,
great.
when I saw who it was, I was like, "Wait a second, that's the same dude that we saw.
Oh,
We
dude, he
already watched
was
him,
such a badass.
dude."
Oh, he was
I,
such a badass. He just came in and wrecked fucking
WWE
house, dude.
Hall of Famer.
Oh, this was awesome. This was awesome. I don't know what else to say. This was awesome. I feel like Amir on the last one's like this is my 4. This is my first 4. I loved it. I loved it. Fujinami is
Guess
the
what?
man.
Guess what, Moses Marquez?
We agree.
We fucking agree.
Fucking hot
yeah.
diggity damn.
Finally.
This was awesome.
I really enjoyed it, man. And that finish, this was the finish where one guy was getting pinned, another guy was being submitted, right?
Yeah.
That clothesline, whew, took that boy's head off.
In
He hated
the
that motherfucker.
nastiest way. This was like an old school just killer clothesline.
Yep.
It
Knockdown,
was
drag
worse than
out.
Bradshaw's, and Bradshaw's was gnarly. Like this was great. Oh, I loved this. Loved it so much. My 4. Emir gives it a 4. Paul, tell me you are in the boat.
Yeah, I can hear you. Moses Marquez, can
Again,
you
with the problems, we shall return.
Watching them, knowing as old as they are, dude, they were racking up some good ass hits, and I agree with you guys. Those clotheslines, dude,
Killer. Absolutely killer.
dude, killer.
Oh, so this was great.
I actually gave this match, and I actually gave it another 3, and I thought it was really, really good.
Why a 3 then? If me and Amir gave it a 4, why a 3?
Because I still think there are a couple more matches that are a whole lot better.
I understand that. I get that aspect. I do. But I mean, the awesomeness of all
Okay,
this.
look, stop trying to convince me. Look, I'll give you a 3.5. Look,
Okay.
there, happy?
Not necessarily.
No.
But I'll take the W where I can get the W. So another match that I felt
Amir,
was
convince me. Go ahead, convince me.
Okay,
Tell me to go to a 4.
Let's go. Go to a 4. Do it.
I mean, if you can't see that this match was a 4, then you need to wipe off some glasses.
Hold on, wait. I can convince you right now. 54-year-old Fujinami
All
wrecked
right,
house.
it's a 4.
54. He's old and murdered.
Okay, 54. I will give it a 4.
Love it. See, that's all the convincing
There.
you need. Now, when I first saw this match, like the first time I watched through it, I was like, he beat the fuck out of this guy. And now when I'm talking about the match, I'm talking Hiroki Goto versus a Great Muta. I felt like this was he beat the fuck out of him and left. Like that's what I felt at first. But then I watched it again, and I felt the same exact way. But then I was more intrigued because it was awesome. Because Muta goes out there and legit just beats the fuck out of Hiroki Goto. This match went 13 minutes. Goto got maybe 2 minutes of offense. And the Muta just kept coming and coming and coming, hitting him with everything, dude. Everything. He's busting him open. He's just going after him. This thing was bananas.
Hey, Muda's nasty. Like the way he hits hard. He's licking this motherfucker's face. I mean, he's crazy with it. I saw this match, and I was like, welcome back, New Japan. This is exactly what the fuck I came for.
Oh,
dude.
I gave it a 2.
I gave it a 5.
Whoa, hold on, wait,
I gave it a 2.
You're
it was
fired.
Boring. There was nothing fucking in it. It was the Great Muta. I was waiting for long hair,
Pack your
green
shit,
face paint, and then he went
and retro the fuck out of here.
That was it.
This was my first 5-star match of the night for me.
I didn't go as high as that. I gave it a 4. And the only reason I gave it a 4 is because normally in New Japan matches when they have a squash, there's like some sort of real comeback. Goto had no comeback. He like attempted, and Muta's like, "Who the fuck are you messing with?" And he shut it down ASAP. I loved it though.
You're ignoring me. I'm going down to a 1.5 now. Fuck you.
Hey, the part where Muta hit him with the second, with the miss the second time, just out of nowhere, just just out of nowhere hit him with that second miss. I was like, "Whoa, this boy is on."
Okay, Paul, I'm begging you. What in the blue hell has you dropping your rating on this?
Because y'all ignoring me. I'm gonna
Okay,
go down
fine.
to a
I'm not
1 now
ignoring.
because y'all just
Oh,
I
ignoring
have
okay,
to
me.
ignore you because, sir,
you make no sense to me.
you're on some bullshit.
I couldn't have said it better myself. I couldn't have said it better.
This was the most boring match of the fucking thing next
You're boring.
to Abyss.
Boo! Shut up.
I'm just kidding. I'm just
He
fucking
is
with y'all.
Abyss.
I'm just fucking with y'all. God damn it. Let me
Jesus.
fuck with you guys for a while.
I was
Look,
about to say I was
I
about to
thought
rename you
this
Abyss.
was this was a squash match. This was a squash match of all
The
squash
fucking
matches.
coolest squash match
And
I've ever seen in my life.
dude, Great Muda for as old as he is in that at this time, dude, he fucking killed him.
Dude,
Dude,
if
I
he was
mean, he
old,
was
bro,
beating the
Jesus
shit out of him.
criminy.
Dude, he was beating the shit out of fucking Goto.
And Goto was just taking
Dude,
it
I
like a
mean,
G.
and Goto was just fucking taking it like it was
Oh,
like he was a porn star. He
this
was just taking it.
this was just ridiculous. That was ridiculous, but this was just ridiculous. He,
Dude,
oh,
redonkulous. Dude, this is a 4. I'm giving it a 4. I know I was just fucking with you guys. I give it a 4.
I'm glad that you were.
Great. I mean, he did a couple of
What the
he
fuck?
did a couple of spots, dude. But I'm just telling you right now, dude. To me, it was a great match.
No, it was excellent. I've seen Great Muda a handful of times, and most of the time when I see him, he's in a match that was pretty hyped up. I've never seen him in just some random thrown together match, and that's what this was. And this was the greatest squash I've ever seen in my whole life. This was 13 minutes of awesomeness. It only got a 4, which is okay. It's still excellent. And like my expectations for the rest of the show went up, but then I kind of like my mind kicked in and I said, "Wait a minute. The next match is supposed to be the Steiner brothers against Thompson Tyco or Tomko and fucking goddamn the coach of the performance center, Matt Bloom." And I'm like,
Hey,
"Oh, this
You
is
know how I
gonna
knew this
suck."
match was gonna suck?
Please.
By the way, there's no way I could have known how bad.
Jeff
but the
Jarrett.
reason why- Not even Jeff Jarrett. The part where the vignette for this match, they were using footage of the Steiner brothers from like the 80s.
No. I want you to remember. I want you to remember what was the show we reviewed where they had just won the IWGP World Tag Titles at the Tokyo Dome and then went on to wrestle. They had to relinquish a title. Remember that? We reviewed that show. That was Super Brawl?
I think it was Super Brawl or something.
Yeah,
like
Super
that,
Brawl. I want to say
or,
Super Brawl '88.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was the show. It was.
And
like,
they mentioned.
Yeah, they mentioned
it was former IWGP tag team champion.
But it's like it's a trip because that's the footage they're using. They're using footage from the fucking late '80s in 2000 goddamn 8. 2008. You 20 years ago. 20 years ago. Like wow. But and then it was night and fucking day. Because in those pictures, dude, you had Scott Steiner, dude, and he looked big, dude, but he wasn't like, the freak big, but he was big. And then you had gigantic freaking Rick Steiner. And then they come out, and what the fuck happened to Rick Steiner? 20 years has changed him
Looked
like
like
nobody's
Looked like
business.
he got hit by a car. Looked like he
my
fucking was
goodness.
sitting at some sushi bar for the last fucking 3 days, drinking and eating sushi. And dude, he came out trying to run around the ring and run around Scott Steiner, and he was like,
dude, it legitimately looked like Scott Steiner took all the muscle that Rick had and just put it on himself.
Right.
And now he's both of them, and it's like, holy crap.
Rick Steiner looked like an angry biker.
He really did.
Fucking big Papa Pump.
This match,
Big bad voodoo daddy.
first
Big
of all,
bad booty daddy.
here's the first reason why this match was bad. There were no Japanese people in it.
Agreed.
Like Why are we having a full on TNA match at Wrestle Kingdom? I don't get it,
No,
Not
because
only is it hold on, not only is it a TNA match, but it's a
uh,
TNA match for the IWGP Tag Titles.
bro.
because Albert and Tomko were over there. They had left WWE to go over there, and then they started. Um, they made a big name for themselves there as tag team champions.
Oh, did they? Did they? Okay, I watched. Giant Bernard get dropped on his full fucking face with
On
his
his
arms
face.
planted
On
beneath
his
him.
face.
I mean, oh my god!
Dude,
First of all,
oh my God.
I've never seen
Oh
anything
my
worse
God,
than that.
dude! He tried to throw him over him. He tried to overhead toss him,
Yeah.
and he landed flat on his forehead and face. Dude, he ate canvas. Dude, I wonder if he's still fucking picking canvas out of his fucking mouth, dude. Oh my
I think
God,
we'd all need to go to Florida and ask him.
that was horrible.
I was like, he's dead.
Hold
You
on,
know,
let me look him up on Twitter and let me ask him if he's still picking.
Now here, hold on. Here's
Let me
my
ask him
thing
right
because I got
now.
to bring this whole thing up. When this match first started out, I was like, okay, it's not horrible, it's watchable. Now it's decent, and then that fucking botch happens, and the rest of this match takes a nosedive like a fucking old '70s pickup truck going down a hill, just fucking flying. It is just so heavy and gonna crash like nobody's business, and that's what happened. And it crashed quickly, but it didn't crash quick enough. Um, of course, Jeff Jarrett has to get involved. He's a fucking prick. I don't know what he had to do with this, and
I don't know either, man.
Because the Steiner brothers were in TNA at the time.
I understand that, but I don't know. It made no goddamn sense. It is what it is. I'm glad this match was over. I have no idea why in the fuck they like Tomko so much. He's terrible. And when I mean terrible,
Botchamania.
oh my goodness gracious. Now, I can see why Albert was so highly praised, he seemed like a worker. He seemed like a big dude worker. The Steiners didn't help his cause, though. That's for damn sure. Scott looked the best out of both of them, and he's terrible, especially right now. He's terrible. Like in the '80s, they were great. Now he's trying to do the same shit he did in the '80s, and it does them no good. He thinks he's like John Cena. He's got 5 moves.
And all he's doing is yelling at the ref. Honestly, to me, the only person working in this match at all was Albert. He did some good work, but then he got dropped on his head, and then once he started botching too, I was like, "Fuck this!"
Yeah,
I gave this match a 1 star, and that was being generous. It should have got 0.
I'm glad that you said it. I gave it a 1.5. The only reason I gave it that little extra half is because I'm just too big of a fan of the Steiner brothers. I'm just too big of a fan. My biasness.
You need to go take your fandom fucking somewhere else, dude. I gave this a half a star. I gave this a half a star, a quarter of a star for Tomko and Bernard.
Oh, Tomko's just terrible, just trash. Can't
Dude.
stand him.
Dude, I'm being generous here. Dude, this match fucking sucked. I mean, royally sucked. I mean, you were thinking, you hear the names. I'm like, okay, I knew where they were at. Again, back to the whole. I knew they were in TNA. I knew that the other two, that Bernard and Tomko. Oh, I don't even fucking want to call him Bernard. Fuck it, Albert, Adrian,
Matt Bloom.
Prince Albert, Matt Bloom,
Lord Tensai.
Yeah, Lord Tensai. There we go. Hey, I asked you what other fucking names. You just said, what the hell else did you call me? What else the hell did you tell me? No, you did tell me Tensai, didn't you?
Yeah, remember when he was Lord Tensai? He looked like Avatar, and he also looked like his head was gonna hatch.
But they brought that dude over, and they're like, he's gonna be the next world champion, and then he jobs out to John Cena.
Hey, remember when we wouldn't let Ryback lift him up, and Ryback was like, "Stupid."
Oh my god.
Okay, so now you got mine. I gave it a half. Dude, this match was fucking horrible. That botch made it even fucking worse, and the fact that everybody was botching their damn everything that they were doing. Look, the
Like I said,
Steiners were
like I said,
old,
the first after that first botch, dude, it went downhill. Everybody was fucking up everything, and
dude.
there was no
Dude,
stopping it.
that dude, the Steiners were old. I had Tomko
That's
was
an
never the
understatement.
fucking greatest wrestler in the world, but hey, at least he was fucking sub. At least he was better than the Steiners are as fucking then.
Yeah, it was
At
bad.
least to me he was. And like I said,
Tomko
I
wasn't
gave it a
that good.
fucking look. I gave it a half. Be happy I even gave it that.
All right, well we're gonna brighten up the mood because we're gonna jump into my match of the night. I don't know how you guys feel. I fucking love this match, and I mean I fucking love this match. Yuji Nagata, former IWGP Heavyweight Champion, taking on the current IWG or one of the IWGP Heavyweight Champions, Kurt Angle. Now, I have a great story about this for those of you who do not know. This belt was referred to as the IWGP Third Championship belt. This belt was not recognized technically under the New Japan banner. Why, you ask? Because the man that won it defended it outside of the promotion, lost it to Kurt Angle, so they considered the belt relinquished. So they actually Brock Lesnar defended the belt at a Antonio Inoki show against Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle won, then goes on here, beats Nagata. I want to say he eventually loses to, I want to say Nakamura, but I might be wrong on that. He eventually loses the title. That's when they decide, oh, this belt looks way better than our current championship. We're going to use that one. But at this time, this is like an unsanctioned IWGP championship. But
Wow,
regardless
you
of the,
had that. Wow, that's the one you had. Okay, so here's what I got since I have the truth
uh-oh,
and you just have your idea as to what it was. Okay, the IWGP, who is the governing body of New Japan, um, since Brock Lesnar won it, um, he had three title defenses. In July of 2006, he was a no-show for a scheduled defense.
Surprise.
New
oh yeah,
Japan stripped him of the
surprise.
title. He cited visa issues along with New Japan owing him money
Well, then use a MasterCard next
as
time.
his reasons for failing to appear.
Ah.
So New Japan founder Antonio Ioki left the company and created his own IGF promotion, and recognized Lesnar as the IWGP Heavyweight Champion. But due to Lesnar never have, he did it because Lesnar never actually lost the title. So, and he still had physical possession of it. So since both companies were under IWGP body, New Japan recognized Lesnar as the third belt champion and not their heavyweight champion,
That's right, ladies and gentlemen,
which eventually they ended up creating their own.
because possession is 9/10 of the law, fuckers.
Yeah,
Anyway,
and then since yes he lost it to Angle, uh, and Angle was still recognized as it, and then he had one title defense against using it against Samoa Joe at TNA's Hard Justice. He had another one against this guy that against who the hell was he wrestling against?
Yuji Nagata.
Oh, Nagata. So this was the second one. The next time he wrestled it was a few months later, and he lost it to Nakamura,
Ah, Nakamura.
who
That's
unified
right,
the belt.
unified the belt. Because the belt they have is just fugly.
Yes.
And this one is not very good looking. It's eventually it eventually turns into what it is now. But right now it's like a more compact version, and it's not terrible looking. But I wouldn't want to wear it. But I'm an asshole.
Okay,
So
first and foremost, did you see the plates on the fucking TNA belt that were falling off?
that was hilarious.
Dude, I was fucking down there fucking rolling. I saw him pull the plate up over his head, or pull the belt up over his head when he was coming down the aisle. And I was like, why the hell does he keep freaking hitting the belt? And then I see the plate and it keeps freaking swinging.
Oh, yeah, it's TNA for you. That's Jeff Jarrett's baby right there. He got it out of the back of his pickup truck.
Right.
But anyway, I got to talk about this match. Kurt Angle, as we all know, Olympic champion, former gold medalist, um, wrestling extraordinaire. He's a wrestling machine. But Yuji Nagata,
Won the Olympics, won his Olympic gold medal with a broken freaking neck.
sing it, broken freaking
Yada
neck.
yada yada.
Anyway,
Okay, go ahead.
but Yuji Nagata is no slouch. Former amateur wrestler in his own right, has a good background, but this match was excellent. You had the old veteran against like the grizzled not necessarily up and comer, just like the grizzled star, soon to be a legend. This was just great. The counters were great. Saving the angle slam was great. Um, Emir, you finally had pointed out that this was your first Nagata match. You saw his armbar. You saw how he goes to the quote unquote dark place, because that's when he rolls his eyes behind his head. He goes to the dark place and does not care if he snaps your arm. It's great. This whole thing was great. What did you think? I want to hear from you guys, because I love Nagata. I've seen many of his matches, and of course we've all seen many of Angle's matches. But for you guys, like, how did you feel? Were you giddy like a 6-year-old like I am?
Amir.
Emir's,
What did he do? Fall asleep?
He fell asleep.
Good Lord.
10:30, and
maybe we were talking to him too much.
That's what it was. We were talking to him and not at him. So
I'm so sorry. I didn't realize that my thing was on mute. I'm like, why can't these fools hear me?
Because you were snoring.
Anyways,
because Nagata, this is like one of your. Is it your first full Nagata match?
Yes. And so the look on his face, when he had Kurt Angle on that armbar, like I thought he was having a seizure or something, like his eyes. Well, dude, I've been talking all this time. You guys couldn't hear me. That was crazy. Anyways, I didn't want to.
He was lying. He was asleep. That's it. He was asleep.
We were talking about how ugly the belt was. I was saying that belt looked like a crown and all kind of stuff. I didn't realize my shit was on mute. Anywho, though, this match, first of all, to see Kurt Angle in top peak form back then, I wrote down, like, this was at a time, in my opinion, that Kurt Angle was the best in the world. Like, nobody could touch him.
Oh yeah, no.
He was so good.
He was so good.
Great.
But those white shoes were terrible.
You know what? I don't even remember the shoes. I was looking at his outfit, just the his little wrestling outfit or whatever.
Singlet.
And I was just like, yo, this is dope. Like this, because when Kurt Angle came back to WWE as general manager, and then he did some wrestling, I wanted to see this version of him. And it was like, he's old now and he's heavier and stuff like that. But that dude could really hang. Like, I feel like they really complemented each other very well, and it was an intense match, and I loved it, man. And this was the second match I gave 5 stars.
Wow, I love that. I do love it. I got to jump to it too. Yeah, I gave it 5. Nagata is just great. Almost every match I've seen him in, there's a couple that you see him on like the opening show of a New Japan show. Opening match of a New Japan show where he's teaming with some young boys or wrestling against some young boys. Even those matches are pretty good. But when you give him the spotlight, you give him a chance like the G1 normally does, he'll put on magic with a lot of people. And then you have the element of the one of the best wrestlers at that time in the world, Kurt Angle, against him. It was made magic. So yeah, my 5 for sure. Paul, what'd you think?
I gave it a 2.
You really want to be fired. That's what I'm hearing right now.
Dude,
this is my
this was a 5, dude. This was hands down a 5. Dude, the fact that homeboy was there, the fact that the way his faces were, the faces he made, dude. I swear, I've made girls look like that.
Oh,
That's awesome.
I made girls have orgasms like that.
Stupid.
They've had those rolling to the eyes in the back of their head. Yep, that's what I'd be doing.
Wow.
All right, okay. On the serious note, dude, I've seen I've seen Nagata like maybe like two, maybe three times in my life. This was by far probably one of the best matches I've ever seen him wrestle. I've never seen any other ones. If you guys can recommend them, hey, I'm all for it.
this was my
But
first Nagata match.
and and
I'll send you all some links.
I have to say he sold a lot of the stuff, and I mean the way he was trying to turn Kurt over on that figure four, and then you see him get angry, you see him get into that pent up rage, and then he's trying to get him over. Kurt Angle puts him back, and then he's like, okay, I'm gonna do this again. And he tried to pull him over. Dude, I wish I could have fucking been there to watch that. I mean, like live. That's how that to me it was freaking great.
It was
That's
absolutely
what I
intense.
expected. That's what I expected when you guys tell me about New Japan matches. That's what I expect.
Speaking of being there live, at this time I took the time to look up what it would take to get to Japan, like not on an airplane, but like if you went by boat. And do you realize it would take 20 fucking days on a boat and several thousands of dollars?
Yep.
If you tried to go to Tokyo
It's
for
like
like a Wrestle
I
Kingdom.
want to say it's like an 18 or a 19-hour flight,
Yes.
and it's relevantly cheaper than a 20-day boat ride because you're better off just going on a cruise.
You
And
never take a direct flight to Japan. You always go to like one of like the towns that are above it,
Mm-hmm.
and then like take a
or
train
down
in or
below it,
something.
and then you just take one of the trains down towards it because
Yeah,
it's
like
cheaper.
landing in like Osaka.
My 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 stepson and stepdaughter, they both want to
Or
go down there.
Kyoto.
They both want to go to Japan and go visit
That'd be
because
awesome.
he's a big Godzilla fan. So
Godzilla's the man.
yeah, but they want to fly out there. But anyways, back to what you were saying. Yeah, it's I would love to do that, like to go there and just and witness it because I'd probably be cheering louder than those people that are there. I'd probably be louder than any of those people that are there.
Well, yeah, they don't really cheer loud anyway, so yeah, they would look at you like, yo, what the fuck,
This
bro?
fucking
Calm
American.
down.
God dang American.
Right?
But no, it's yeah, no, I think we're all on the same boat. We can go to a New Japan show when they come to the States, and that's great and all, but it's nothing like actually being there, especially in the Tokyo Dome. So, fives all around, which is, I think, the first in the history of this show. We've all agreed on a 5-star match.
No, because we all
Nope.
did it with the over there with AWA. Don't you remember? We all gave it a five.
Oh, that's right. We did because we just love Kerry Von Erich oh so much. Kerry Von Erich's the man. But, like I said,
No, you gave it to Brickhouse Brown. Remember, you gave it a -5.
oh, that's right, -5
Negative
for the
five.
break. Oh my goodness. All right, let's finish this one
Okay,
up.
go
Let's get
ahead.
to the last match. Last match we have is the actual IWGP Heavyweight Championship. The current champion, Hiroshi Tanahashi. Anybody surprised? I'm not. Taking on Shinsuke Nakamura, who is not the
Who's
Shinsuke
that guy?
like now. Yeah, I know, some crazy guy. He is
Some guy.
in better shape, short hair, tighter pants, and a little bit more
Japanese.
Chunky.
of like an MMA background. Like his MMA background definitely showed more through this match. Hiroshi Tanahashi looking absolutely gorgeous. If I could look half as beautiful as that man, I would be happy because that is a beautiful man.
Fucking Shinsuke Nakamura looked like fucking Rick Ross.
Shinsuke always looked like a homeless cat back then.
A little bit, a little bit.
It's just the hair. It's the hair. It wasn't as pretty as fucking Tanahashi.
That hair has just gotten prettier and prettier over the years. It's evolved with time, is what it has. It
I
is like
told you that.
fine
I
wine.
told you that. I told you.
And
That that
Tanahashi,
boy that boy doesn't age and he gets prettier and
this
prettier
was
as
11. This was
as he gets
11
older.
years ago. Okay, this was 11 years ago. And Tanahashi is about the same size. He's bigger now, but he was about the same size then as he is now. The hair is not as long and luxurious, but it's still phenomenally excellent. And I, his in ring is just as good. He was a little bit more aggressive, which is what I was noticing. I kind of enjoyed it. Um, but this felt like a Tanahashi match. You know, it felt like a big time Tanahashi match. Nakamura not into like the Nakamura of like Wrestle Kingdom 10, but he was great. I mean, this was an excellent match. I can't say it's gonna live up to the one prior, but it was great. I really enjoyed it. It went on. It was about a 40-minute match, or about 30 some odd minutes. Nakamura ends up picking up the win, becoming IWGP champion, just like how Paul was saying. Later going on to beat Kurt Angle to unify the belts. Um, Before taking over New Japan and becoming, the King of Strong Style and all that jazz. But this match was, like I said, it was really great. I feel like, and I don't know why, and I kind of blame. Maybe I can blame Dave Meltzer on this, but Tanahashi matches to me don't live up to like an Okada match or like a Nakamura match or even like a Kenny Omega match. Something about Tanahashi, he's great. He's like amazingly great. And once in a blue moon, he has that match that puts himself over everybody. But other than that, he's just like he's always in the ballpark. He's always in that top 5, top 6, top 7 guy range. But it takes that one guy to bring out the number 1, 2 in him. But I felt like he was a really good guy in this one, but he wasn't the ace. That's why I gave it a 4.5. Enjoyed it, but it was not Kurt Angle versus Yuji Nagata.
I thought it. I actually liked it. I actually gave it a 5. And the reason being is that Nakamura sold his shoulder.
Nakamura sold like nobody's business. His selling in this whole match was great. The way when Tanahashi was first going after the knee and he's just screaming at the top of his lungs and that shoulder it's all taped up and he's just his selling on point.
Yeah, and that to me, it because you read the background on it, and then you see. I mean, you see the story of how um, at the beginning of the match, to tell you how they got to where they are, and it told the story, to the match all the way up to the match and everything that Nakamura sold. I mean, he sold it well. This would be his second time around as IWGP heavyweight champion. Um, his second of 3, I believe.
Amir, what do you got
Correct
for
me if
us?
I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. I know he's had more intercontinental titles
Who's that?
than
Tanahashi or Nakamura?
Nakamura. Yeah.
Nakamura, I want to say was a 2-time IWGP IC champion, and
No, from what I read, I thought it was 6, but I could
was
be
it?
wrong. Anyways, what I'm trying
I
to get
think
at,
he
I know
won
he was a 3-time. I
3.
know he
He
was
is
a
a 3-time.
three-time.
He is a 3-time heavyweight champion.
Yeah. So, anyways, what I'm trying to get at is that he sold it. The fact that he sold it and him and Tanahashi sold it. I know how much of a rivalry they have, um, and just bring up on their rivalry, through about this time. I mean, just it told me a lot more than what I expected. So, like I said, I gave it a 5.
I dig the 5.
I was completely floored by this match because, I mean, I think at some point, if I'm not mistaken, I think Nakamura even did like a moonsault. He did like
He
2
did do a
moonsaults.
moonsault, and it was awesome.
One
Yes,
he
he
landed
actually
on
did.
his,
He did a
he
couple of
like
them.
landed on his feet. Like I was like, yo, this is so much better than the Shinsuke I see now in
Oh,
WWE.
hands down.
And and Tanahashi was great, and the false finishes were great. This to me was like, this is oozing New Japan, like the kind of I loved it. I loved it. I thought it was, to me, it was the match of the night. I thought it was even better than Kurt Angle's match. And the part where the ending really put me over the top, because I did not expect Tanahashi to drop the belt at all. And when Nakamura got the victory, I was like, holy crap. I was like, I didn't see that coming. Um, and I don't know. I must have really been tripping, because I gave this match a 6.
No, you're not tripping.
It's not going
I
higher than a
knew this was
5,
gonna
dude.
happen. He was bragging about this match, like, bro, he's like, oh, this was great, this was so good. I can, like I said, maybe it's just me. I have a thing with Tanahashi. Like, the only time I feel like he has like beyond great matches against Okada or against Ibushi. But I mean,
No,
like,
you just been hypnotized by fucking Meltzer's fucking outrageous fucking stick on fucking everybody New Japan.
maybe the case. But like I said, 4.5 for me. I keep it realistic. I'm a fair man. I could dig the 6. I'll take it. That's it. Records have been broken. The first show that breaks the the smart mark rating is, believe it or not, a fucking New Japan show.
No surprise there.
Not one bit. And then of course
Dude,
Paul
stop
with a
sucking
5.
New Japan's dick, Mirror. Fuck, dude.
No, I'm not going. I'm going to keep sucking that dick. I don't give a
Uh, so
You heard it here, folks.
you heard it here.
Amir's gonna keep sucking that dick.
He'll handle the
That's
business
right.
as long as the business
Let me
is
go tell
happening.
your wife, man. Let me go tell your wife.
I'm sure
Oh,
she's
she
aware.
knows.
She pimps him out
All
every now and
right.
again. But solid show.
Must just feel bad because he left out.
It's all good. I don't mind being on the sidelines. I'll take it. But like I said, solid show. It was 4+ hours to go. It was a 4-hour show, typical New Japan Tokyo Dome show. I again very much enjoyed it. Solid 2 thumbs up, even with the Abyss match and the Steiners.
Fuck those matches. But yeah, but the matches that I liked were so good that it was good enough that I was able to give the pay-per-view 2 thumbs way up, man.
Absolutely. Paul, did Paul leave us again? Nope. Maybe. Who knows? I don't know.
Yeah,
Looks like he left us again. Is he on the other side? Can you hear him?
Paul.
No.
I can't hear him. I
Ah,
cannot.
dread. I was like, maybe he's in the background. That'd be great.
There we go. There he is. There's Paul.
So you can hear him. I can't.
Paul, did you get what? I can hear both you guys.
And of course, I can't hear him. So fuck it. We're gonna use you as a translator for right now. That way we can just finish this up. I hear
He
him
said
kind
2
of
thumbs. Oh, you can hear him.
barely, but
2 thumbs up.
2 thumbs up. I fucking dig it. We're we're gonna wrap this one up. I apologize for all the audio issues. I assure you we're gonna get them fixed. We have a long ways to go. Like I've said, each and every week so far, our list of shows is going down.
Oh my
We're
God.
getting ready to change formats as we are going to start reviewing the Monday Night Wars. New positions are being passed out for that. It's going to be fun. It's going to be interesting, and it's either going to suck. It's going to be, there's going to be bad weeks. There's going to be good weeks, but it's going to be a lot of fun nonetheless. New episodes are out of everything. Surprisingly, there was a Mo and Brian show that happened. I don't know when another one's going to happen. They're like a solar eclipse once in a blue fucking moon. But when they come out, they're normally pretty good. We got everything going on. SMR News, make sure to check out on all that stuff. Emir, anything on the RWT page going on?
Yeah, we're about 4 to 5 weeks out from Promo Mania 4, and this thing between me and Butchers, it's getting deep, man. Go to the RWT YouTube channel and check out the song "Fuck Butcher." Let's get some views on that thing and let Butcher know that he ain't shit. Uh, and let him know how we feel. And when he's after my promo championship, but he ain't gonna be able to beat me. Also, the promo climax 2 is gonna be happening soon, and there is a King of the Mic / Queen of the Mic tournament that's gonna happen for the first 8 people that sign up for promo climax 2. They will automatically be entered into the King / Queen of the Mic tournament, just to kind of stretch their promo muscles and get ready for the promo climax 2. So if you're interested in that, hop on the RWT page or go to Max Wrestling Podcast or Max Wrestling Interactive and get signed up for the promo climax. And you could, like me, you could become the next promo champion.
Could is a possibility, but you cut a fire promo each and every time, so the competition is constantly stiff. Yes, we must all go check out Fuck Butcher. It was a hell of a track with an excellent background song. Link will be down in the description below, so check out for that. It should also be attached when uploaded to all the fun stuff, so check it. Emir, are we going to be able to get together sometime this week for a gorilla position?
I will let you know.
Let's just say it's up in the air. It's a possibility, but it's all good. Fastlane happened. Looks like I might go solo and give you my review on that whole bit. Look out for that. You can always find Paul at his RWT Facebook page, Paul Morales, or of course you can find him on Twitter at P_Morales _RWT, I want to say is correct. You can also check out Smart Mark Radio at SmartMarkR at Twitter, SoundCloud.com /SmartMark Radio for all your favorite episodes. And we will be back next week while we review TNA Unbreakable. So we must bear with another Abyss match. I will have some beers with me. Emir, thanks for bearing with us. Paul from the other side of the phone. Peace out, bro. I appreciate you. Look forward to talking to you guys next week. Catch you all around the bend. Peace out.
Peace out.
Paul says peace.